My tongue purple from wine.
Give everything I own. Give everything I own. I give everything I could to blow it to hell and gone.
Y'all. All right. We know that some of the podcast family vacationers are here watching because we've been texting. I've been texting some of the podcast family leading up to tonight.
Hello, Christy Kincaid Norris.
We've all been communicating about various things with coronavirus, but then I let them know we were going to be singing tonight, so they've all anxiously been waiting.
Hello, Tara, Jacob, Christina, Caitlin.
Lips and tongue are purple from
Tiffany
wine.
Tippin. Hello, Kara. Hello, Sin. My man.
I can't see that far. I got letters today. Emails from Saudi Arabia.
Hello, Veronica.
Where people are listening to the radio station.
Oh, ACNC 12?
On Armed Forces Radio.
Hey, Laura.
Every time I talk, you talk over me, so I was just writing.
Well,
I know.
The people are filing in. They're filing in, taking their seats.
So anyway, I was just curious as to...
Oh, Ben, who's a real artist, is going to listen to this mess tonight.
Ben who?
Ben Honeycutt.
Oh, hey, Ben Honeycutt. I can't see. I cannot see that far without my readers. Ben, this is going to be inspirational.
We're going to do yacht rock tonight, Ben.
This is
thank you,
a little
Sam.
outside of our comfort zone and ranges.
Kelly thinks we're professionals.
No, I do not. I just don't like embarrassing myself.
Hello, Rebecca.
We should really save this part for the podcast because one of us almost had to separate themselves today.
I said, come back when you're ready to do this. That's all I said.
Yeah, it was a little deeper than that. Well, we may or may not get into that.
Hey, for every Slash, there's an Axl Rose.
What am I?
For every
what am I?
For every
am I Slash or Axl?
For every Mick, there's a Keith Richards.
What am I?
You're I don't know who you are. Oh no.
Yeah. All right, we need to get started while people are filing.
Hello, Jeff. People filing in. Let me go get a root beer.
Oh my gosh. All right. Maybe I can sit close enough to see the screen now and say hi to everybody. Quarantine's going okay, Safe Beauty. I've been doing the Kid Craddock morning show from this office here. Alan and engineer Don set it up. We're going to be doing it this way for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's been going okay. And McKelly started her homeschooling today. And I think that's going well. We went for a long walk with the dog. We've been cooking a ton at home. I made spaghetti tonight. Alan's been grilling a lot.
I don't want to be lurching and heaving, so I'm just going to have a water.
What do I think of all of Big Al's stuff?
My man.
What stuff? I know he's been doing karaoke. I should probably start doing, I thought about doing happy hours. I think that's what people have been doing on social media. There's got to be a way to invite people in to join you on that. I got to figure that out. Yeah, I think the difference, we'll talk about it on the podcast. Let's talk about it on the podcast. Let's talk about everything on the podcast. Why don't we? You ready?
All right, Carrie, chopped liver. All right.
I can't see. I haven't been following out on Facebook Live, so I don't know. My hair looks great. Thank you. I washed it today, but you can see I'm going to have to order the root touch-up from Amazon because it's time. It's time. I'm going to have to do it myself. Dallas has canceled all spa, hair, nail, wax, anything to do with physical touch that's not considered necessary is canceled. You tell me this isn't necessary? Come on. Necessary. But I'll do it myself. Root touch up is what I do. Hey, Sam. Sam, how's quarantine in New Zealand? Is it the same? Well, that's nice. Some hairdressers are preparing hair color. That's nice. I mean, I could do the Claire All Root touch up. It's close enough. I mean, it's really close. It's not going to be perfect, but it's close enough. And I'm going to start, I went and had a pedicure last week, like before all the stuff started hitting the fan. So I'm good on that for a while, but I'll start doing my manicures myself, I guess. I used to do it in South Carolina before I moved to Texas. And when I went, my cousin reminded me this when I went home last week. She said, I remember when you went, because they still do their own manicures. And she's like, you used to do them too until you moved to Texas. You said everybody does their manicures, gets them professionally done in Texas. And that's the truth. Maybe it's just in Dallas. I don't know. In the suburbs. But I'm going to start doing them myself, I guess. I'm back to Cajun shrimp on the toes. It's that time of year. Thinking of maybe doing a little bubble bath pink, something light on my nails. I don't know. I usually don't do anything. I'm giving Alan time to set up, obviously. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Test 1, 2. What's wrong now?
Nothing.
Oh. Test 1, 2, 1, 2.
Mike Oxawhopper, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Mike Oxawhopper, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Mike Oxawhopper, please pick up the red courtesy phone.
Yeah, it took me the third time to get it. All right, recording.
Thank you, Christy Kincaid Norris.
It took me 3 times. I got it, though. Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Love, and we're back together, reunited,
and it feels so good.
I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans. This is my husband and co-host.
Hello, Alan. Hey, Trey! In the house.
Take it down a notch, but I know you're excited.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Past week of podcasts, we've been
so
separated.
Happy. So happy to be back with
traveling,
my love.
Yes. Oh, really?
The bug of my love.
Really?
The love of my hopes and dreams.
Let's be honest. We've been in quarantine, and it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty, but we're getting through.
It's like imagine a bear and a lion being in like
who's the bear?
A pen.
Who's the bear and who's the lion?
And then the zookeeper tosses them a steak, and then what happens after that?
Who wins?
No one wins. There are no winners in this situation. There are no winners.
I still love my husband, but
But what?
But sometimes,
but what?
I think you'll say the same thing, honey. We don't really like each other very much.
No.
In time, don't you even make me look bad. There are times when we may be fussing a little bit.
I always love you.
And what did I just say? I always love you.
You just said you don't love me.
I did not say that. I didn't say that. I said there are times I love you, but I'm probably not liking you so much. But the same can be said for you of me.
True.
Let's be honest. That's the way marriage works, especially marriage in quarantine.
Very true.
But you know what?
We're doing our part, though.
We are. We're trying to social distance as much as possible. Alan more than me, because my neighbor, our next door neighbor, Cindy, it was her, Stacy, excuse me, our other neighbor, Cindy, Stacy, it was her birthday, and everybody's quarantined. So we said, one of our neighbors said, hey, I know this Mexican restaurant's, serving margaritas. I'll go pick up a batch of margaritas, and we can do one of those social distancing, because we have a cul-de-sac. So we could all we could all sit in our front yards and lawn chairs and toast poor Stacy, who's, having a sucky birthday because of quarantine. That was the original plan. And then here's Kelly. I get all caught up in the moment, because who loves to socialize more than me? Not
many people. Jerry Raspberry.
I love it. So I'm like, hey, maybe you could get some Mexican food too. And we'll all eat and drink and celebrate Stacey's birthday. And Alan, literally starts slapping my wrist.
Well,
what are you doing?
Babe,
we're quarantined.
You're talking about doing exactly the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing.
But see, I wasn't in the habit of quarantining at that point. I wasn't in the habit. So we kind of got chastised and realized, well, we can't share food. We can't do a Mexican buffet. But she still thought, well, maybe I could go get us all, Mambo taxis. And then we can all, put them down, and we'll all run and go get one at a time. I don't know. We were trying to figure it out. And anyway, she went to go pick up the Mambo taxi.
Gotta order food.
And was told, you have to order food. She said, okay, give me chips and salsa. The guy said, no, you have to have an entree for each margarita.
Failed bit.
So basically she said, we're out of here. So the rest, we just all brought what we had. I had a wine. I gave Stacy actually some buzz balls for her birthday.
Uh-huh.
And everybody bought out there. We all wore layers, a little chilly. It
was
and
45.
Alan, it was not that bad. Alan refused to come out.
Yeah.
He stood in the doorway and waved at everybody.
Hey, the CDC said stay inside.
They said stay 6 feet apart.
15-day plan, babe. I'm following the rules.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You went to the grocery store.
You can go to essential stores.
Okay.
You can go to the grocery store.
You can also go outside as long as you stay 6 feet apart. That's what we were doing.
How many of you were there out there? I counted more than 10.
Probably about 10, but we stayed 6 feet apart.
I don't know, babe. I don't know if that's...
You're nuts.
I don't know if that's on the... I'm nuts.
And next week, the weather's going to be nice, so we're going to be doing more cul-de-sac cocktail hours.
Oh, boy.
You need to come out and socialize. They're going to start thinking you don't like them.
It has nothing to do with that.
They're going to start thinking that. If you don't go out there.
It has nothing to do with that.
If you're the only one not going out there, they're going to think you don't like them.
Who was the only one and I brought this up before, who was the only one at Stacy and Bill's Christmas party from the cul-de-sac? It was like me and another couple.
Okay,
right
my daughter had flu and strep.
I'm just saying. I represent.
Anyway.
I represent.
I know a lot of people are trying to do the socialization. I think it's actually... coronavirus is a serious thing. I'm not making light of that at all.
Are you not?
I'm not.
Why don't you just assemble in another 20-person group and
we stay 6 feet apart.
Pass the bottle around while you're at it.
We're not doing that. We're staying 6 feet apart and we're all bringing our own drinks. But listen, I think it is doing something for, a lot of times it's bringing out the worst, people hoarding. I just went on the Nextdoor app and this poor lady, she's in a nursing home and they've shut down. She's not allowed any visitors now. And she said, my nursing home facility she's in, assisted care, only provides 2 meals a day. And so I have to supplement anything else I need. So, whatever meal that is. And she said, I can't get anything. I go to the grocery store, everything's gone. And the delivery service can't come to me anymore because we're not allowed visitors. What's she going to do? And it's just awful what's happening. The city of Dallas, they had to have a press conference today about toilet paper.
They seriously, not a bit.
It's not a bit.
They put a ration on toilet paper. You can only buy
12 rolls.
12 rolls.
Per
2
person.
6-roll packs or 1 12-roll pack.
They said because of humans, our stupidity, that they are not going to, in order to get toilet paper out to the masses, it's not a supply problem. They said they're only producing them in 6-packs at maximum right now, most suppliers, because it gets them on the shelves faster. But, families are going out there, they're just hoarding, and it's just awful. And he also said, here's this tip that I did not know until this press conference today, because when I did go to the grocery store to get, milk and eggs and some essentials that we needed, there was nothing left except for Kleenex. They had like generic lotion-free Kleenex, boxes and boxes of it. And he said a lot of people are using that. It's an expensive alternative to toilet paper, but people are using that. He said that that stuff is not flushable because Kleenex tissue expands in your septic system. And now plumbers are being called out because everybody's septic systems are backing up. So just like if you travel to certain places in foreign countries, like I know when you go to Mexico, they won't even let you flush toilet paper at some of those bathrooms in Mexico. If you're using anything besides toilet paper, you need to throw it in the trash instead of flushing it. I thought that was a very helpful tip because I didn't know that about Kleenex. I would have flushed Kleenex.
No, it blows up.
I would have flushed Kleenex. I'm just telling you.
It absorbs and blows up 4 times the size.
We don't go through tons of toilet paper. We just...
So speak for yourself.
Well, Alan's always said that I'm really good about when we get low on something, I go and buy enough to keep us for a while. So when we get low on toilet paper, I go and replenish. I get those mega rolls.
Replenish. You don't anymore.
I don't now. 12 of them that'll last us for a while. Ever since there's this quarantine, I haven't had to go get toilet paper because we've had plenty. But there's going to come a time when we run out.
I think we have in the house, I'd guesstimate about 20 rolls between the kids' rooms upstairs. How many Emma Kelly got squirreled away?
I don't know. Not a lot. She doesn't go through a lot.
She didn't have a lot?
She didn't go through a lot.
I bet we have 20 rolls in the house, which
we're fine.
At our rate of dumping, that'll take us weeks.
We have lots of wet wipes.
Oh.
Lots of wet wipes.
And then at some point, Here's the thing about the toilet paper panic. Like, people are going out and buying it and hoarding it, and then people see that it's empty. So then when it gets replenished, they immediately go buy it. They panic and they buy more, and that's what's causing all the toilet paper to be.
It's awful.
But let's get down to the crux of the issue. What is it that is causing people to buy the toilet paper? Are they afraid at some point they will actually run out of toilet paper and they will have to go to plan B? Is that what's causing this?
I think some people are, the judge
and what is plan B?
Said that people are, jacking up the price and trying to sell it for a lot of money on eBay, which is stupid. I would use a wash rag and just wash it every time before I did that.
Whoa, back up. What?
Before I would pay $20 for a roll of toilet paper, I would use a wash rag.
A wash rag?
Yeah. What do you think people used to use a long time ago?
Well, I didn't live a long time ago.
I
live in a day where we have soft,
I know they do,
lavender scented toilet paper.
But they're all lavender scented. No, that's bad for your coochie. But
I don't have that either. So I will use soft lavender scented toilet paper.
I'm just saying that there used to be a time when there was no toilet paper and people figured it out.
You know what they used? Corn cobs.
Okay, I don't want to use corn cobs.
That's where the expression
I'll use a nice wash rag.
That's where the expression "cobbed up" or "rough as a cob" came from. Because they used to use dried out corn cobs.
That's where the expression "rough as a cob" came from.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna Google that.
Google it.
I am.
That's the truth. Anyway,
we just need to use common sense, people.
So you use a wash rag.
Before I didn't pay $20 for a roll of toilet paper.
Yes. A dry wash rag?
No.
So you'd wet it and then do it. Ew. And then would you wash it in our washer? Oh God, that is nasty.
Well, you would rinse it out first. Go through the stages.
Oh.
It's like people that use cloth diapers for their babies.
No, who does that?
A lot of people do. A lot of people. Our friend Deontay, she used all cloth diapers. When I was a little baby, my mom used cloth diapers because they couldn't afford the disposable ones. Mm. So you'd rinse them out and then you'd wash them.
Give me love.
That's just taking it back.
Give me the love.
I get what you're saying, Alan, but in desperate times, you would have to do things.
Times are not desperate. Yet.
We're not yet. Not yet.
Kelly
Raspberry Evans ain't paying $20 for a roll of toilet paper. We're not even to that point yet. Why are we discussing it? It's gross.
I will pay $20 for a roll of toilet paper.
I won't.
Before I use a Ralph Lauren wash rag.
Well, first of all, we don't have Ralph Lauren.
Well, whatever they are, Bed Bath and Beyond.
We got our wash rags are falling apart. That crap.
You picked them out, Evans. Didn't you register for those?
I know, they're all falling apart.
And then you'd wipe your behind with them.
Yes. I don't understand you.
Wow. You don't understand me?
You use a wash rag to wash your body anyway.
Yeah, in the shower where you didn't just do that. The most.
Oh, Alan, this is ridiculous.
Where you didn't just do the most.
Okay, this is getting gross. We don't need to talk about it. People will figure it out in times of trouble. You got too cushy of a life if that's the worst
Mother Mary
thing you're worried
sings
about.
To me, seeking words of wisdom, let it be. Aren't we just supposed to start singing now?
You're referring to celebrities?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that our bit now? We're just supposed to start singing?
Well, we're going to sing.
Oh. No.
And this almost ended our marriage.
No, I just wanted somebody who wanted to participate.
When
it's their idea.
Kenny Rogers died.
Yes.
Very sad.
Yeah, it was very sad.
And, I love Dolly Parton. Who doesn't? Name me American. Do you love Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Dolly Parton.
Heck
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure some bozo listening right now is saying, I don't love Dolly Parton. Why are you even listening to this podcast?
That's like saying you don't like baseball.
Everybody loves Dolly Parton. And Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, many people thought for years they had something going on, but they never did. They were just very close friends. People thought that about her and Burt Reynolds as well,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Dolly is married to a man named Carl, I do believe. Anyway,
Carl?
I think his name is Carl.
Okay.
He stays in the background a lot, but he's
like
been
Stedman.
her support system. Yeah, like Stedman, but way more discreet.
Like Alan Evans.
No, you're way out there. You're not hiding in the background.
Oh, okay.
I got to push you out of my spotlight sometimes.
Babe, that's not true.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Okay, so
who's
anyway.
sitting real close to the camera right now and who's sitting back here in the background? Thank you.
So anyway, I thought it'd be really great to sing some Kenny Rogers. And I thought we could sing, you know, The Gambler. That was one of his big songs. Remember that one?
Yeah.
You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never go.
Count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
Okay, I thought about that, but now I was like, you know, we need to do a duet. So I thought, well, you know, Kenny Rogers, yes, he sang with Dolly Parton, but he also sang with Sheena Easton.
I don't remember this conversation.
And he sang with Kim Carnes. Wasn't that her name, Kim Carnes? Anyway, Alan said, nobody knows those songs. The only one they know is Islands in the Stream. Now, I'll tell you, when you're singing Islands in the Stream in your bedroom or in the shower and nobody's playing along with you and there's no soundtrack.
You're freaking Dolly Parton.
You can sing any key you want.
You're freaking Dolly Parton.
You hit all the notes and it's beautiful. You're like, what's Dolly Parton got that I don't got?
Well, I can name two things.
Then your husband gets out the guitar and looks up the chords and he's playing them and you try to sing them and it is a hot mess on a platter. And I was like, there's got to be another way we can do this. Maybe we can do it with a karaoke. There's got to be another way because I know I sing this song better than I'm singing it right now. This isn't working. It got a little tense. We all had to walk away.
It wasn't tense for me.
We had to walk away.
I just said,
for a while.
I've been working on this song for 2 days and I know my part.
You had to work
Why
on
don't you come back when you've at least tried it one time?
We did try it one time and I asked if there was maybe an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, this is what quarantine is doing to us.
We're arguing over Kenny Rogers songs.
We walked away. Alan took a nap. I took a shower.
It was bushed.
And I came back and basically begged, Alan, can we try it one more time?
You didn't beg.
I did too. I begged him. Alan, come on. We need to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What's the worst that can happen? And then we practiced it. Whoa.
It's fine. It's fine. Like I told Kelly, I don't know why she's gotten more worked up over this than any other song, Picking and Grinning, we've done.
I think
we've done Picking and Grinning a million times.
But you remember the last one we did was so bad.
No, I don't remember the last one we did. No, I still don't. I don't think about that.
Okay. I believe it was More Than Words.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't that. It was not More Than Words. It was
Wholehearted.
Wholehearted. We should have sung More Than Words. We would have killed it.
No, we wouldn't
have. Yeah. We swore we'd never sing again after that. But Kenny Rogers died. And we're in quarantine. And everybody's singing but us. We need to sing.
I tried to sing Let It Be. Nobody would sing with me. That's a good one to sing out the window. Stick your head out the window. That's what you guys ought to do.
That's the saddest.
Instead of going out here in the cul-de-sac and sitting next to each other, which you're not supposed to do, by the way.
6 feet apart.
What you should be doing is sticking your head out the front window here and singing.
How funny has it been? You know, some people try to stick their heads out the windows and they sing along these, you know, Lean On Me choruses. And then you see people trying to get it started and try to start a viral video and it fails so bad. It's so funny. Anyway.
Did you see on the news today was it Chicago, I think? There was this guy, he was like, and they were really trying to get it going. It was this big apartment high-rise complex, and you could hear, whoa, we're halfway there. And then you hear this other guy chime in, whoa, we're living on a prayer.
Oh my God, pick another song that people can actually hit the note.
So they were singing that, and then they had John Bon Jovi on after that, and he was just being so cool. He was like, y'all, thanks for rocking that song. He's like, keep belting it out. He's like, you know, I got your backs. Everything will be okay. And you could just tell. He's just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Some viral sing-alongs are better than others.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Alan and my rendition of Islands in the Stream goes viral. I highly doubt it, but I feel like Kenny Rogers' death is getting overlooked.
Well, yeah, and all kidding aside, his family, they couldn't invite a bunch of people.
That's right. It's a shame. It's sort of like when Farrah Fawcett died, the same day Michael Jackson died.
Oh, yeah.
See? And it's like all the attention, and you feel bad because, you know, well, for anybody, whether they're celebrities or not, when you feel like your loved one's getting overlooked.
And think about I know there's people getting married.
I know.
And, you know, they can't invite a bunch of people. Well, there's some tough decisions.
It's like my cousin Leah, who struggled with fertility issues and finally prayers answered, pregnant, expecting her first baby in less than 3 or 4 weeks. Her husband is a nurse in the ER, so he is in the front lines and basically has to stay away from her for the most part.
Right.
She can't be around anybody right now. Here she is at the end. I believe she has to have a C-section from what I understand. And the only person that's going to be allowed to go visit her, anything in the hospital, and she's going to be there when you have a C-section, it's 4 days, is your husband. Nobody can go. And it's just like, oh, it's such a celebratory time. Because I remember when I struggled in my in vitro and my whole situation, my hospital room was flooded with people, and it was such a great celebration. And now it's still a celebration. New life is still a celebration, but it's just, everybody's having to adjust. But you know what? This too shall pass.
It sucks.
This too shall pass.
Eggs for a while, but if everyone will just stay at home, do their part, this will go away so much faster.
I think it's harder when
it will go away so much faster.
Right.
If people just follow the rules.
I think it's harder when you're not sick and nobody is sick. You're like, what's the big deal? I get that. I get it. But, and I also told Alan, it's so much harder. We stay at home a lot all the time, but it's different staying home because you want to and staying home because you have to. It's a different mentality, right? I went out today and just drove around and I felt like freedom just to be in my car and driving around. And I also felt like I was kind of breaking a rule, but I was just in my car riding around to get out of the house.
You can go out. You can go.
I know what I'm
saying.
I know what I'm saying. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying just to be out. It felt like, oh, I left myself quarantined. I'm free,
Yeah.
But you have to come to a cul-de-sac happy hour and stay 10 feet apart if that makes you happy.
I'm not doing a bit. I don't think that that's appropriate right now.
It's fine. People are doing that. They're showing that in other cities that it's fine.
Dallas County, you can't do that.
Do what?
You can't congregate in groups like that.
If you stay separated.
No, on the Katy Trail, you can't be 6 feet from somebody.
Okay,
you're not supposed to be out there playing basketball with anybody.
That's 6 feet.
Okay, I'm just saying I would prefer not to be around big groups of people.
But that's 6 feet. They said you can still go as long as you stay 6 feet.
If you want to argue to be in front of a bunch of people, that's you, babe. I ain't getting next to a bunch of people.
6 feet.
I don't know if you've been watching the news, but
then you won't be around me, because if I go around those people, then you're going to be too afraid to be around me.
Well, then that's irresponsible on your part.
It's not if we stay 6 feet.
Because you're driving it back in this house.
It's not if we stay 6 feet, Alan. Everybody's saying that. 6 feet.
Everybody's saying stay inside. That's what everybody's saying.
Or 6 feet apart.
So you can't make a sacrifice because you need to do what?
Be social.
Be social.
It keeps it's good for your mental health.
Uh-huh.
It is.
And you think that is more important than not spreading a virus, right?
If you're staying 6 feet apart, you're not spreading anything.
You don't think that it's possible for that to happen?
I'm sure maybe if they change it to 10 feet, we'll make it 10 feet. You go outside and walk the dog, don't you?
I haven't done that, no.
You have with me.
I've been to the grocery store and I've been to the gas station.
And you're around people then? I know it's for necessities, but you're still around people.
Because I have to be.
Exactly. You come home and you wash your hands.
You don't have to be in the cul-de-sac drinking buzzballs.
It's good for your mental health.
Okay. If you've convinced yourself that that's appropriate, then there's nothing I can do about that. If you've
convinced yourself it's inappropriate, there's obviously nothing I can do about that.
I'm just following what the CDC is telling me to do.
Me too. Me too.
And the governor of Texas. So stay inside.
Me too. Except for 6 feet apart.
Except for having a party.
I'm going to Google this when we're off the air.
See
what quarantine is doing to our marriage.
No, it's not doing anything. I'm just following the rules.
I am too.
But you're not.
But I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Okay, I'm going to Google this later. After the podcast is done recording, I'm going to Google this and I'm going to be right. You know what a lot of people are doing because they can't go to the store, because even if they do go, stuff is gone off the shelves. They're having things delivered to their homes, right?
Yep.
And one of the places we love for home delivery, we've been using them before self-quarantine and before grocery store shelves were emptied of cleaning supplies and things of that nature is Grove.
Grove
Collaborative, the online marketplace that delivers all natural home, beauty, personal care products directly to your door. And these are the names you know and love: Burt's Bees, Seventh Generation, Mrs. Myers, which is one of my personal favorites. I mean, Burt's Bees, listen, ladies, if you're like me and you have trouble lipsticks getting really weird, Burt's Bees tinted lip gloss, tinted lip balm. It's the best. It's got some beautiful colors. Get that from Grove. And also the Mrs. Myers cleaning and bath products. We love them. And also Grove is really doing their part to help cut down on the amount of plastics that we use. They have sustainable swap sets. It's the best and easiest way to start reducing your family's use of plastic. It's a good time to get in the habit of that while we're all home quarantined. This is a good time to start developing those good habits. You get silicone straws, reusable washable sandwich bags, a refillable hand soap dispenser, gel hand soap, a walnut scrubber sponge set in this starter kit. And for a limited time, our podcast listeners get all that for free when you make your very first purchase. Plus, with your first order, you get fast and free shipping. So going sustainable, it's never been easier. You don't have to go to the store to get the cleaning products that are free of all those harsh chemicals. I mean, you can still clean your home and not rub the skin off your bones doing it with, healthy ingredients from Grove. So join us and the over 2 million households who have shopped at Grove for their healthy, sustainable home essentials.
Make your home more sustainable this year. Now for a limited time, when our listeners go to grove.co/Lovin, Lovin, you'll get a free 5-piece set from Grove, so you can swap out plastic in an easy way. Plus, you'll get free shipping and a free 60-day VIP trial. To get all that, go to grove.co/Lovin, Lovin, to get this exclusive sustainable swaps offer. One more time, that is grove.co/Lovin.
Lovin.
Love Grove.
And not .com.co. Thank you, Grove. All right, honey, we got to dive into this thing.
What are we doing?
We got to sing eventually.
Okay.
Why are you?
Never seen you panic this much.
I'm not panicking.
Crazy.
I'm not panicking. I'm saying it's time to make that transition.
How could you be panicking this much?
I'm not panicking. I don't know what sound effects you're playing.
I just don't get it.
Is it screaming, hollering? What are you playing?
You go back and listen to the podcast.
Why would I do that?
Or put on a set of cans.
I'm here.
That's
headset
this. In the radio industry. Right?
Let me just say this. I love my husband. I love him.
Oh.
I just want to say that. I want to be on record for saying that. Even though we disagree about certain issues involving quarantine. I just want to go on record and say that, honey.
Okay. You've.
This is the part where you say you love me.
I love you too. I love you desperately. I love you desperately.
Okay.
But I can't believe that you're saying here on the podcast that you don't understand what's happening right now.
I do understand.
And it's okay to gather in big groups of people.
I don't. It's not okay as long as you stay 6 feet apart. If it makes you happy, I'll make the 10-foot rule. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
All right, here, you got to hold this one. Or wait a second. Before we do this, we got to set this up.
Yeah, y'all. This is. We don't have a huge. Okay, we don't have a huge setup for our homemade little podcast.
I don't understand why we don't. We've only been doing it 3 years.
I'm talking while you're getting your stuff ready. So Alan has printed out the sheets for us to sing, and it's got our little parts A and K. Go ahead and get your stuff on explaining. And we've got little sheets of paper with the chords he's going to play, and he's been practicing his chords. He almost hit me in the face with his little guitar. So we have one microphone stand that he's going to point at his guitar. I'm going to hold one microphone to his face and the other microphone to my face, and we're going to try to do this. Did I explain it very well? There is a slight possibility, actually a major possibility. We may lose our way. We're going to find it back and we're going to plow through. Right, babe?
Yeah. I'm ready to do it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm pre-apologizing.
A bit that our listeners seem to like. It's called Picking and Grinning. We've done this for years.
Yeah.
You're not a professional singer.
Not.
I'm certainly not a professional singer.
Not.
I'm not a professional guitar player. But we get on here and we screw around and have a good time, and it's all good. And I don't apologize for it.
I do.
It is what it is.
My husband's being a little testy.
Well, because I've been listening to this all day.
I just wanted to be good. And I want to hit the note like I'm supposed to. So forgive me ahead of time if I don't, okay?
Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain. Every beat of my heart, we got something going on. Tender love is blind. It requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other, islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Here we go. I can't live without you if the love was gone. Everything is nothing if you got no one, and you just walk in the night, slowly losing sight of the real thing. But that won't happen to us, and we got no doubt. Too deep in love and we got no way out, and the message is clear. This could be the year for the real thing. No more will you cry, baby, I will hurt you never. We start and end as one. In love forever, we can ride it together. Making love with each other. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Sail away.
I can sail away, be with me.
Get it, babe. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one love to each other.
Sorry. I wanted to make love with him so bad I had to sing that line instead.
You did real good, babe. You did
I went
a great
off key.
job.
I did.
Well,
But that, you know what? I just kept going.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
I think it sounded really, really good.
I'm never listening back to that podcast, so it doesn't matter. But you know what? We love you, Kenny Rogers. May you rest in peace.
I think you did a great job.
Thanks, honey.
I think you sounded really good, and I had fun doing that song.
Oh, I can tell. Look how much fun you had. Babe, you're making me feel bad.
No,
I tried really hard.
And I told you, I think you did wonderful.
I'm so off key.
You're not Dolly Parton, babe.
I'm not.
You're a regional radio star. She couldn't get on the Kid Craddock Morning Show and do what you do.
Oh, yes, she could.
No,
She's
she
Dolly freaking Parton.
Well,
she could.
Everyone has things that they're good at.
What am I good at?
You're good at a lot of things, and you're a good singer too.
No, I don't know. Well, thank you, honey. I'm not going to sit here and slam myself. You know what? It's over, and that's the important part. Thank you for providing the musical background and the male vocals, honey.
Well, that's all I can do. That's all I can do.
Are we speaking to each other after this podcast?
Yes.
I just want to be sure.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I just want you to follow what the Center of Disease
Oh my
Control
God!
says.
Back to coronavirus quarantine. I am.
Okay. Are you washing your hands?
Yes, they're like ashy, and my cuticles are peeling.
I know, mine are too. My hands are so dry because I've been washing them so much.
I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
I promise.
Mm-hmm. Did you get takeout today?
I did.
Where'd you get that from?
McDonald's drive-thru, which is open for business.
Mm.
And my daughter was asking for it, and I acquiesced because sooner or later that's going to be gone as well.
Which one did you go to?
I went to the one nearest our house. We got out of the house, drove around.
Oh, in Parker?
The lady serving us had on rubber gloves.
Uh-huh.
And the minute I got home, I washed my hands.
You know what I was thinking we could make a killing on? I'm trying to think of a business opportunity.
What?
Designer everyday gloves. I think the day is coming back where women are going to wear gloves. Designer gloves, though. Thin, stylish, fashionable.
Latex?
No, they don't have to be latex. But I think people are going to start wearing gloves on an everyday basis.
All right,
now.
listen to me on this. If you're wearing these gloves and you touch something germy and then you touch your face, you're still putting the germs on your face. So it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of keeping your hands off your face.
Mm-hmm. Or out of your nose.
Right. So that's the thing. You've got to stop touching your face. As I'm touching my face.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people at Walmart with gloves on. Younger people.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I can't remember who I tell what to. So please forgive me if I'm repeating myself. I was at the grocery store. I needed to get milk. I needed to get eggs.
Milk.
And I needed to get essentials for milkshakes because we were trying to keep our children entertained. So I was there and I was trying to get I wasn't perusing the aisles looking for specials as I tend to do.
That means look.
I wasn't using the app trying to find the best deals and what's on discount. I'm just like, I need to get my ish and get out of here. There was it was about 80 degrees that day. We had a real big hot spell. It was humid. It was overcast. It was like 80 degrees. There was a woman in the grocery store. She was wearing a heavy winter coat, wool gloves, like the ones that are made of, the wool material. She was wearing fur-lined boots, and she had on a surgical mask. I thought she was going to drop dead of heat stroke. And I'm like, what are you in what notification did we get in what group email that you needed to protect yourself against coronavirus by bundling up to that extent? She would have to take her face mask off about every aisle because she was panting. She was so hot. She's going to make herself sick looking like a nut.
She's going to make herself sick trying to prevent the coronavirus.
She's a nut. That's a nut. That's nutty behavior.
Why was she a nut?
That's nutty behavior.
Why?
You've got to learn to protect yourself, but be sensible about it. As in meeting in the cul-de-sac and staying 6 feet apart.
Listener, who are you going to take your advice from here?
Kelly Raspberry Evans.
You go on and do that. This guy is staying inside this
You're going to have no friends left. You're going to have me.
I'm going to be alive.
I am too.
Okay. I want you to be. I do.
I want you to be alive too, honey.
Thank you. Are you sure?
That's the most loving thing you've said to me all day.
Not true. Not true.
I want you to be alive.
Being misrepresented. All
right. Well, let's wrap this up. I guess this is kind of a cranky version. Have we done crankier versions?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Some of our podcasts have made you look like Mary frickin' Poppins on this one.
Wait. I thought you were complimenting me, but now you just insulted me. I caught that.
Mary freaking Poppins. Mary freaking Poppins. Not just Mary Poppins. Mary freaking Poppins.
Well, you know what? I don't care.
You don't care?
I do care. Actually, I hope everybody enjoyed this podcast because, you know, Alan and I do enjoy doing it. I know it might not sound like it sometimes, but, you know,
I always enjoy doing it.
Oh, honey, hush. I've heard from people who say that they appreciate the distraction, right? It's like that sense of normalcy to what's going on. So we're going to keep doing the podcast as long as people want to hear it. And as long as, as we're not killing each other. Each other's
wait a second.
During this quarantine.
We got about 5 minutes left. Why don't I just quickly, I got a couple of letters.
Okay.
You want me to read a couple of these letters?
Sure.
Okay, and you can send us mail. You can send us mail.
People do send us
us mail.
But then again, Alan, they've licked the envelope and the stamps.
Exactly.
So you're probably risking infection.
No, this was sent.
Email is completely germ-free. Just saying.
This was sent before the 15-day plan came out. I got a Valentine's card.
Wow.
From Catherine M. And it said, it's Valentine's Day. There's only one word for when someone like you comes along. Awesome. Happy Valentine's Day. But she says, or is it thank you? Read the letter. Dear Alan.
So has it been since Valentine's Day since you got it?
No, it came a little late, but she has a reason. She says, Dear Alan, happy Valentine's Day. Almost a month late. I did buy the card before the holiday, but I got busy and didn't mail it off. It's really more of a thank you card than a Valentine, though. Let me explain. Actually, the card is for me to say thank you for being Kelly's Valentine. Do you hear that, Catherine? Do you hear this? Catherine, do you hear this?
Do you hear that attitude in his voice?
Did you hear that, Catherine?
I'm Kelly's Valentine.
Did you hear that, Catherine?
Did you hear that?
Her laughing at me?
That.
Actually, the card is for me to say thank you for being Kelly's Valentine.
Thank you, for being my Valentine.
I have listened to the Kid Craddock Morning Show, nationally syndicated, for almost 20 years. This is one of your very best customers you're laughing at.
I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at you.
I was a runner and did my runs in the early morning hours. The show is what got me through those days, and I really didn't want to be out in the cold and dark or the hot and dark. Kelly has shared her ups and downs with her radio family, and my favorite bit of Kelly's was when she would read her diary on the show.
Oh, God, that was Kid that read it, really. Remember that? Kid Craddock, the host of the show, made me do so many things, kicking and screaming. Alan, this should be a sign for you. Kid made me do everything. He made me write a diary every day. He made me do love letters to Kelly, things I didn't want to do because he knew that it was good. And then he would read my diary in my voice. Just a little peek behind the kimono there for everybody.
Then one day later on, she revealed that she had a boyfriend. I was so happy for her. What a relief to realize that.
Was it you?
For Kelly, you were the real deal. Now I am a member of the podcast family. You two share your lives with us twice a week, and I love it. It's like listening to her diary with you included, with lots of wonderful stories about your children, too. I enjoy the ups and downs you share with us. I'm also so impressed by your generosity to your listeners. Y'all make the sponsor talk interesting, too.
Oh, thank you.
So, Alan, thank you for being Kelly's Valentine. You have been a blessing to her and Emma Kelly. I'm so happy for you, your children, and Kelly. Catherine M. P.S. That family vacation is going to be amazing. Well, that's very, very sweet.
Catherine, thank you. You know what?
Very
that's
sweet.
That's a good thing to bring up. Catherine, that's very, very sweet.
Very sweet.
And thank you.
A card. She hand wrote.
That's very sweet.
A card.
That's very sweet. We love handwritten mail as well.
This one's from?
I'm going to say something real quick about the family vacation.
Sorry.
Our podcast family vacation is still scheduled for July 7th through the 11th. Until, we get closer to that date, we don't know how long the situation's going to last. We're not taking that off the calendar until it becomes a necessary thing to do so. But as of right now, we are still a go, right, babe?
Yeah. I know anything can happen. Of course, things can change. But as of now, as we sit here now, we're planning to go to Mexico in July.
Yes. And if something happens, everybody that booked through our friend Judy, the travel agent, everything's okay. If something happens and we have to reschedule, you'll be able to get your money back on that. So don't worry, don't stress. But as of right now, vacation is still on.
Here's one from Elena. She says, Alan, I just wanted to thank you for doing the most recent podcast solo. I needed some normalcy today in the midst of the coronavirus craziness. I managed to shop at the airport in Dallas, and I had to majorly cut my staff's hours, and it just sucks. I can't wait for all this mess to blow over. I needed to hear a familiar voice today, and I loved hearing about your RV trip with the boys and your parents. Thanks again.
Where's all the letters about my solo podcasts?
Well, there's one right here.
Oh, there's one?
Yeah. No, seriously, babe. Well.
Did you lose it?
I know we got one. I know we got one. This one's from Sonny. He says, hey, y'all. Greetings from New Braunfels.
Is Sonny a boy or a girl, Sonny?
Can't tell.
How do they spell it?
Sonny. Must be a boy. Yeah. I just wanted to reach out and let you know your podcast is something I always look forward to listening to. Back in September, I was diagnosed with conversion disorder, and I had to resign my teaching job, and I'm at home now. Luckily, my husband is able now to work from home and help me. Every morning we have our coffee on the front porch, and we watch the deer and listen to y'all when your podcast is posted.
Oh, that's so nice.
We just laugh and love how y'all are both so transparent. We can relate because we have 2 teenage girls and a 6-year-old little man. Talk about chaos at times. Thanks for the laughs and just down-to-earth conversations. Take care. Sonny.
Sonny, either a man or a woman. I'm thinking now it's a woman, but it might be a man. You know. So what was that?
I've never heard of that. Conversion disorder?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
I'll
I'm not
Google
sure.
that, but I hope that you're not in pain. That's the thing, you know. She said she can't work anymore.
Yeah, can't work anymore.
Oh, I'm so happy that we're a distraction for you. That's a good thing. But gosh, I hope that's not painful.
And here's the last letter, and then we'll bring it home for Jerome. Dear Alan and Kelly, I'm sure Alan's happy I put his name first.
Wow, Alan.
See how I've trained the listeners?
We should say something, shouldn't it?
It's very nice.
One of us needs the advice.
It's very nice. Thank you. Hey, you're just mad because you're not following CDC guidelines. I'm almost a 26-year-old woman. I was listening to y'all's podcast today, delving into Kelly's eating disorder. I myself still struggle with mine. I throw up at a minimum of once every 2 days, but I have thrown up as much as 3 or 4 times a day. I really can't pinpoint when my eating disorder mentally started, but when I physically started throwing up was 4 years ago. I grew up in elementary school, and I was a chubbyish kid. Then in 6th grade, I shot up like a beanstalk, and I was pencil thin through high school. I thickened out a little at 19 when I started dating a guy. We had unhealthy eating habits. I went from 120 to 150 in 2 years. I'm 5'6". We dated a little over 2 years and were engaged a year after that. He broke up with me 6 months before my wedding. When this happened, I was totally distraught. I started throwing up after eating, not every meal, maybe once or twice a day. I went down to 130, and I was quite happy with my body. At that point, I was throwing up to maintain weight. Dating a new guy, I got pregnant. I stopped throwing up because I knew my baby needed nutrients. If anything, I felt comfortable being pregnant because I was, quote, fat. It was because I was pregnant. I had my baby, and after a few months, I went down to 140. Ever since then, I've been able to break 140. I've just stayed at that weight. My daughter is now 14 months. I throw up way less now. I know it's not a good thing, but just as Kelly was saying, that feeling of guilt after eating a shit ton of snacks is overwhelming sometimes. I would think how disgusting I was and how easy it would be to throw up. So I would and still do, again, not as often. It is so hard not to think that way. I like Kelly's idea of waiting 1 minute, then 2, then 3. I think I will also apply that to the binging. I want to binge, but if I can make it through a few minutes, I hope that feeling can pass. I feel no need to purge if I haven't eaten absolutely terrible food. Kelly, thank you for sharing and being open. It's hard to ignore those urges, and I hope I can follow in your footsteps.
My heart's breaking. The heart is breaking. Yeah, that's the thing for me. And I don't want you to think by any stretch of the imagination that it's something that just goes away. It's something, like I said, with alcoholics who deal with alcoholism, they'll say they're recovering alcoholics, but they're always fighting that urge, right? And sometimes there's no urge. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm smooth sailing. And then you think, oh, I can have that drink. And then, so that's the same thing with eating disorders and bulimia. And that's what worked best for me, is just waiting. If I could just wait 60 seconds. Okay, if I can wait just 2 minutes, if I can just get, because it's once you can get past that urge, and the longer you wait, the urge becomes less and less. And it comes to the point where it gets harder and harder to purge because you've waited too long, and then it passes. Same thing with binges. And I'll tell you, being home in quarantine, it's really hard because you're bored, and you just want to just start stuffing your face, and then the guilt that comes with that. Man, if my story helped you, I'm really, really happy about that. And I hope that you're able to conquer it. It does help when you have a child, your daughter, because you don't want to live an unhealthy life, especially with her coming up behind you. And yeah, if you feel those urges, reach out to me, put it on paper, type it to me, DM me in my Instagrams. If I see it, I'll respond to you. I promise. But if I can help you get through those urges, that'd be great, because it's embarrassing to share that story. I was telling somebody, bulimia is embarrassing, because it's, a lot of it's just gross, right? Forcing yourself to throw up. That's an embarrassing thing to admit to somebody. I don't think it's really appealing. And Alan and I have really never talked about that, have we?
A little bit,
but not a lot, because it's just kind of embarrassing. It's a personal embarrassing struggle you go through, because it's just not cute. It's just there's nothing cute about it. And, with me, at the height of my bulimia, when it was at its absolute worst, is when I was the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. It's not about weight control for me. It was about everything in my life spiraling. It's like this really, when you feel like nothing's in your control, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time. And so when you get caught up in this franticness of everything out of control, chaos, you shove food in your face, and you get to a point, then when you get rid of it, it's like suddenly you have this peace. It's like, it's just the weirdest sensation. I don't think anybody who's never experienced that before can understand it. But it feels like suddenly, okay, now I'm in control again. Now everything's peaceful, and the chaos just settles down. It's a mental disorder. It's not something that people talk about a lot because it is embarrassing. It's not attractive. But if my story helps, I'm glad I shared it. But yeah, if anybody has a story like that, if you want to reach out to me, I'll be a sounding board for you. And hopefully I can talk you through some of the hard times. But anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. You don't have to be embarrassed to talk about it with me.
Well, it's just not,
Well, I know it's not, but I'm your husband.
I know you are. But there's certain things that just aren't.
No, I know. They're not.
Hard.
There's things I've shared with you that I particularly was embarrassed to tell you, and I didn't want to tell you, but it felt better to.
Yeah. But, like I said, it's an ongoing struggle, and I don't know if there's ever a time in your life when you're like, I'm cured. I don't know if there's ever a time when you're just completely cured of it. It's always a nagging thing, especially when you see the scale going up to a place you don't like, and you're putting things in your body you shouldn't be. And it's just a hard thing to conquer. So anyway, I'm going down, man, we've been all over the place tonight. This podcast is one for the record books, isn't it?
Well, I know that's a complex subject, but here's one thing I know you can do. And that is, someone as beautiful and as talented and as impressive as you are shouldn't ever be apologizing for how you look, how you sing, how you look in clothes, whatever it is.
How I congregate 6 feet apart from my cul-de-sac neighbors.
You should
apologize for that.
My friendly, unsolicited advice to you is to not put yourself down, because putting yourself down is negative self-talk.
I know.
And negative self-talk manifests within you.
I know.
And I know this because I am the biggest, I'm the guiltiest of doing that. I just don't do it outward. I do it inward.
See, that's my
and
thing.
That causes me all kinds of issues.
Right. So a lot of people who have that internal negative talk, I've lived my life out. I live my life outward. I've never for me, I share so much stuff and other people are horrified. But that's just, I don't understand. I've just always been that way. I've always spoken my mind. I've always shared my business. I'll never have an ulcer. I will never have an ulcer because I tell everything. And so people that do have the same, they just have their struggles. They don't share it as much. So
it's less about sharing your business. Like I share my business too.
The negative self-talk too, though.
Right.
It's like I verbalize. So a lot of people come up to me and say, Kelly, you put yourself down. You talk about being fat so much. I really don't talk about that anymore. I really don't. I used to a lot longer ago, but I tried to take those words out of my vocabulary because of my daughter. I don't want to hear me talking like that in front of her. I don't talk about my weight in front of her.
No, I'm not really talking about your weight, babe. I was just kind of I was tongue-in-cheek trying to use the example of tonight where you sing great. You sang great.
Tonight was not great.
And a peek behind the kimono, the reason Kelly and I were joking around about kind of bickering and arguing back and forth is because she came and we might have got 3 lines into the song and then she was like, I can't do this. It sounds horrible. And I'm like, babe, I think you just need to practice it because you can sing. You can sing really well. And that's what got me frustrated is because she's putting herself down and it's shooting the wheels off the entire bit. It's not supposed to be perfect. The bit isn't supposed to be perfect. The bit's supposed to be kind of wheels off, right?
But I want it to be good.
I want it to be good too, and it is good. But I think you're not Dolly Parton, and that's okay.
I know that.
It's okay.
I want to sound good.
It's okay to not be Dolly Parton. I'm just saying.
Is it really?
Now we're talking in circles and we're going too long.
I know, we are. I love you.
Help me help you. Because
me to the next cul-de-sac quarantine
because I am the worst when it comes to negative self-talk in my life, and it will absolutely eat you away inside. Absolutely eat you away.
Hopefully I've helped you with some of that. I've tried.
You have. And I still work on it too, just like you do. I just don't verbalize it as much as you do. And I don't do it to myself as much as I used to either. So, and I'm not trying to be, hey, I got it all figured out guy. I'm just saying this one thing about you that I wish sometimes I could just shake you and say, why do you do that to yourself? You sing great. You look great. You know?
This has become a self-help session.
Well, that's what we do sometimes.
Now
that's what we do. That's what we do here.
Well, anyway. Again, if you want to reach out to me, I'm kellyrasberry@yahoo.com. People have been emailing me a lot. I'm having trouble catching up. But now in quarantine, I have more time to do that. And you can also email us, kellyandallen.com. There's a way you can contact us there. Our social medias, DM us, wherever. If I see it, I'll respond.
There you go. All right, babe. Well, this was fun.
Now what?
This is where we sign off.
Okay.
Well, this was fun.
Was it? Was it?
I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately.
Thank y'all for putting up with us sometimes. Sometimes this is therapy for us as well.
I'm not sure I love social distancing desperately, but I will take one for the greater good.
Quit trying to, I'm not starting that fight again.
I love our listeners desperately.
I love my cul-de-sac neighbors desperately.
I love my cul-de-sac neighbors desperately too, and I don't want them to get sick.
They're not.
But I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon. In the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.
Bye.
That was a good one.
Jeez.
That was robust. And we rely on each other.
Oh, I feel so bad.
And love to another.
I will never listen back to that podcast.
Even when I met you, it was peace. I said I had to get you with a fine-tooth comb.
You going to speak to everybody before we go? Because I got to write this.
Well, Evans, I got stuff I got to do too, and that's upload the podcast.
We have issues.
I don't just sprinkle pixie dust on that, Where is it? There it is. What issues do we have?
I don't know. You can't find stuff.
This has been a year. Thank you, Bethany. Love you desperately too. Palapis. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Cindy. How's everybody doing with social distancing? Is everybody doing okay? Seriously. Yeah, homeschooling. How's homeschooling going? You know, not everybody's a teacher, so I'm sure that's maybe a little challenging for some. Maybe, I don't know. Well, McKelly's starting it, and she was just kind of doing some videos, I think. Well, I mean, I'm sure she did more than that, but
Who what?
Emma Kelly.
I'm sorry, I was typing, so I didn't hear what about Emma Kelly.
Her schooling.
Yeah, she had some.
Doggone. How'd that happen?
She had some questions to fill out, some math lessons, but I think she's got like stuff due on Tuesday and Friday. So I guess it's just like making sure that she's getting stuff done. But she was in the office today for quite a long time. I kept popping in on her to check on her progress. She was listening to One Direction music, Harry Styles, saying she could work while listening to that. Hey. And then another time I checked on her, and she was doing FaceTime with her dad, who was making sure she was getting her work done. So we'll see. But, you know, like I said, my mom and dad, my schoolwork was my job, and they like, it's on you. And that's kind of like my situation with her. I'm like, I tell her to do it. I check on her, but that's her job. And, you know, I'm here to help her, but it's a matter of her doing it. But then again, she's not a first grader. She doesn't need me to hold her hand. She's a 7th grader. So it's a little different, right? I might be the worst parent ever, but that's that.
Wow, some people have like, you know, 3 kids to teach at home.
I know. That's different. I mean, like, because Cole and Dylan are 7 and 11-year-old. It would be way different if they were here, because you'd have to read to them. They went home to their moms today. So you'd have to read to them and help them. But Emma Kelly at 13 years old, right? I mean, she should. Part of this kind of preparation is getting her ready to be on her own and be able to do this stuff on her own. So I don't know. That's my parenting style. I'm here if she needs me.
Mm-hmm. My man. I won't happen to us, and we got no doubt. Are any of you able to work at home? Or have your companies told you not to come in? Or how is that working for you guys? I'm kind of interested to know, like, what's happening with people. Like Kelly, like, I worked at home anyway, so it's not a lot different for me, other than I can't go to Starbucks now, which is no big deal. But Kelly, she got set up with all her equipment here in the office, so she's doing the radio show here from the house. I'm sure you guys have heard it or seen that, hopefully. Working from home, company is out for 2 weeks, no work. Melissa, you're required to work at home. Oh, 5 of the staff tested positive? Really? You're working in the hospital. Stay home. Wow. Melissa said 5 people at her work tested positive.
At the church?
Mm-hmm. Well, we knew it was going to get better before it gets worse before it gets better. And it's pretty bad right now. It's getting worse too. John.
Oh gosh, lots of.
John, my man, you truck drivers right now are kind of keeping it all afloat. Truck drivers are getting stuff like groceries and medical stuff to where it needs to go, you know, the mail, all that stuff. 6 on ventilators. Working from home. 30-day lockdown in St. Louis. So they can't go anywhere but the grocery store or to the doctor. Sophia, man, we're really hoping that, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're hoping that everything's as normal as it can be by July. I don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. What?
I'm just messaging the podcast family group.
Oh. What am I, chopped liver? I don't get to be on the group? I'm part of the podcast family. Hey, how come I'm not on this text message? Busted.
Melissa busted you.
Busted Melissa.
For meeting her at the mall.
That was before the CDC issued their guidance. Starbucks was still open at that point.
They're still open for takeout.
No.
They're still open for takeout.
Closed. Restaurants closed.
Not all restaurants are closed, honey.
In Dallas, they are.
We're in Plano.
Which is next to what?
But we're not in Dallas. The restaurants are still open here. You can do takeout.
You see this, guys? I didn't used to have this. Look at that.
That is BS.
Look at that. I'm land of the long forehead now. Look at that.
So you're blaming me for your receding hairline?
Look at this.
You're blaming me?
Look at that. If I shave my head, look what I would look like from the front, babe. Talk about all face. Look at that.
I don't have a problem with that.
How come I'm not on this text?
Quit reading my text.
Come on. Melissa, Sophia, who else? Who else is on here? Laura, busted. Me and David are on there. No boys allowed. It's ladies only. Unbelievable. All
Starbucks
right.
is closed now?
Yes.
I thought they were open for takeout. I haven't been watching that part of the news.
Whatever.
How many people are meeting with their neighbors and staying at least 6 feet apart? That's fine. Justin says he's not on the text either.
She made you just staring at the
comments. Tiffany got the Grayson top. Good. I'm glad you like it.
Way to go, Tiffany.
No, you can still go out. If you can go out for groceries and stuff, you can stand in your yard and yell at your neighbors in their front yard.
That's not what you were doing.
We were sitting at least 6 feet apart in the cul-de-sac.
I saw you take a video.
for the people behind me and 6 feet apart. The only people that were sitting side by side were the husbands and wives. When you look at that video, the husbands and wives who are in their houses together were sitting side by side. Everybody else was spaced a safe distance apart. We weren't touching each other's stuff. We all brought in our own beverages. We were talking. It was fine. We weren't sharing a bottle of wine. We all brought our own stuff out. We weren't sneezed or coughed on. We were plenty fine. Yeah. Started no Kelly text, Robert. You go ahead. Honey, Safe Beauty, I'm telling you right now, I don't care what the video looked like. We were all a safe distance apart. If I had a tape measure, it would measure we were at least 6 feet apart, every single one of us. The people sitting side by side were married couples coming out of their homes and sitting next to each other in that meeting. So anybody sitting that close to each other probably had sex 5 minutes before they came out for the cul-de-sac party. So they got each other's shit.
I was inside. I was inside where I was supposed to be.
Thank you, Bethany. Oh, Brooks. Brooks is my friend. Robert Stevenson is my friend Sandra's son, Brooks. Hey, Brooks. I didn't know your first name was Robert. That's right, Justin. Measuring. I'm going to go out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to, when nobody's out there, I'm going to measure 6 feet. Maybe I'll go 8 feet just so everybody's really happy. 10. I don't care. I'll do 10 feet. I'll put little tapes out so everybody has to stay behind their 10 feet separated.
Okay, so on similarly, if they said you shouldn't congregate in groups of 10 or more, would you just make it a habit to congregate in groups of 9 just because you can? Just because that's okay?
What?
I'm going to go to Dallas and just hang out in groups of 9.
But hanging out.
That's okay. I can do that.
If they say hanging out in groups of 10, does everybody have to be 6 feet apart? Right? Melissa's going to come to the next cul-de-sac party. Well, she can take your place.
I ain't going to see Melissa.
But you have to stay 6 feet away from me.
I'll be inside.
See, Alan and I right now, not 6 feet apart.
We live in the same household.
I licked him.
We live in the same household.
I licked my husband. Did you like that?
No, because you were out there with people and I don't know where they've been.
Oh. Somebody's having their family over for dinner Sunday and it's going to be 11 people. See, that's dangerous. See, unless y'all are all under the same roof all the time.
10 feet. Melissa says she's going to say 10 feet.
See?
It's love and affection.
I should find a way to get to plan over Kelly's 6 foot apart birthday party. That's right. I'm going to have a 6 foot apart birthday party in April. I haven't been to visit my parents. I'm not like that. I mean, we're not doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, John, why don't y'all just sit on your front porch and text each other? What's
We don't have front porches, number one.
Yeah, you do. You sit right here.
There's a porch. We're sitting in the cul-de-sac. We're staying a safe distance apart. How much distance makes everybody happy? 15 feet?
You should send in a question to Dr. Fauci and ask him what he thinks about this.
Kara had to visit her father to take him groceries. And then you wash your hands. And you don't cough on him. It's common sense stuff, right? Common sense stuff, Alan. All right, I'm going to go. You know, we're all going to have to just agree to disagree, unless you agree with me.
I'm just going by what the CDC says.
That's right, Justin. You're people that are going to keep this going, Kelly. What? What's going on with the many IVF couples? I think about them all the time. Well, the first couple, Kelly and her husband, what was his name? Luis. Kelly and Luis. I remember Kelly, obviously. They are very close to delivering their son. If you've been following them on social media, he'll be here any day now. And our second IVF couple wasn't as fortunate enough to conceive this go round. So hopefully it's not the end of the road for their fertility journey. But our second couple wasn't able to conceive on that go round.
Hey, Melissa, her name on Instagram is KELLZYAS. If you wanted to follow her, she's posted
Kells.
Yeah, she's posted pictures of herself and her journey and everything. It's really, really nice. We follow her. KELLZYAS.
Brooks says he's with you, even though I babysat Brooks when he was little. And Brooks has taken Alan's side.
It's not a side. It's the rule.
I'm Googling.
I'm not on a side. In Texas.
Okay. Okay, social distancing violators in League City could face $1,000 fine. Okay, let me just look at that one since that's the most. In the hours after Governor Greg Abbott banned social gatherings of more than 10 people.
6 feet or not. Banned gatherings of more than 10 people.
What's the limit of the gathering, Governor?
10 people. Well. Yeah.
They're sending police to arrest people out of gyms and bars.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say cul-de-sacs.
No, I know that, but it's bad optics. It doesn't look
optics?
right. Yeah, it doesn't look right.
If you're keeping a distance,
everybody else is fine. Babe, the governor has banned groups of 10 or more people.
Gathering.
Yes. It doesn't say 6 feet or not. 10 people, period. Like church. There's no church anymore. I can't believe with all the news you've watched, you haven't seen this. All right, guys. I'm
going to figure this out.
Yeah. Justin, I think we're okay here. All right, y'all. Have a good night. We'll get it figured out. Y'all stay safe. Just do everything they're telling you to do. We should be okay if we can just get through it for a little while. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to y'all later. Love you guys.